Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Sitting Eagle Gymnasium here in Centennial, Colorado for a senior night matchup between Cherry Creek Bruins and your Arapahoe Warriors. And Drew, when you see Cherry Creek on your schedule, usually for any sport, you usually dread that game, but coming into this one, what do you think Arapahoe's prep has been?
I mean, they're not going to take that record for granted. They're 3-14. Creek is a good team, though, but not this year for some other reason. But Arapahoe is going to play their pace tonight, get fast-paced buckets, and they're going to cruise in like business fashion here tonight for sure.
Last game, Creek losing to Mullen 37-54. Arapahoe getting a dominant win at Smoky Hill 62-47. Senior night, or yes, it was senior night. We celebrated Ava Butler, Izzy Johnston, and Alexa LaDuff. I believe that was all the seniors, but we'll talk about signing day in a little bit. But Ava Butler signed with Nebraska Wesleyan University, and Johnston signed with Colorado School of Mines. Both incredible schools to go to for basketball, as we'll head off to our starting lineups and national anthem, and then we'll get this game rolling.
Good evening and welcome to Arapahoe High School's City Eagle Gymnasium for tonight's matchup featuring the Bruins of Cherry Creek High School and your Arapahoe Warriors. At this time, if you please stand and face the east wall and kindly remove your caps for the singing of tonight's national anthem. The Star Spangled Banner will be sung
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us tonight on Arapahoe Sports Network as we get set here for the Bruins and Warriors to kick things off. Bruins coming into this one 3-14, 1-4 in league play. That's 7th. They're ranked 40th in Colorado. Your Warriors coming in 16-1, number 1 in Colorado, 5-0 in league play, number 1 in league play. LaDuff will be at the tip tonight. She'll go against, I believe that's Cambria Landon, as we get set here to get things rolling. LaDuff wins a sloppy tip, but it'll do. And Butler will get set. Johnston back to Butler. Butler at the logo, races it over to White. White lobs it over to LaDuff. LaDuff hands it off to Butler. Butler back over to Johnston. Johnston over to Kenyon. Kenyon over to Butler. Back to Johnston. Arapahoe slowing things down to start. Butler trying to find somewhere to go. White drives in, fakes, drives inside, hands off to Johnston. Johnston will lose it. Egan Gibney with the rebound, or the steal, I should say. And Drew, what are you looking for?
I mean, you got to get steals. You get steals, you get transition buckets. I understand why they tried to slow it down, because they think Creek is a high-paced team right now.
Addison Beck will pass it out on the wing. That'll be Landon inside. She'll take a little jumper. That won't go. She'll get her own rebound, and she'll knock it through. For this Creek team, Addison Beck, a big factor, 14 points in a game. And just so far leading this Creek offense despite their 3 wins. Johnston will throw it over to Butler. Butler bounce pass over to White. White can't get it to fall. And Creek will zoom it over to Egan Gibney. She'll pass it into Landon. Landon off the glass. Quick 4-0 lead for the Warriors.
Not the start you want.
Bruins.
Not the start you want. A turnover and then a missed bucket leads to 4 points for Creek.
Yeah, you don't want the record to get in your head. Creek's still a basketball team that has won. They can win. That ball will stay with the Arapahoe. After, I believe that's Nelson getting in there.
See if they can get White right now.
Yeah, we want to get White going. White leading the offense. After beating Smoky Hill there, White will get started and get things rolling on the board for Arapahoe. As Warriors will try a little press early on. Foul. No.
Backcourt violation.
Yeah, over and back on the Bruins, giving Arapahoe another offensive possession.
Yeah, Mason, they adjusted to a pressure-like scenario, and they got the turnover there.
Butler across the half-court line, zooms it over to White. White, then LaDuff bounce pass inside to Johnston. No good for the senior. Creek will get possession. Ball will pass it over to Beck. Back over to Ball. Ball no good from 3. Landon with the rebound. Johnston tries to get in there. Creek still maintaining possession. That's Stelter. She'll try to drive in. LaDuff will get the rebound. Foul. A little reach-in foul there will be called on Stelter. That's Creek's first personal foul, team foul of the game.
Yeah, right now the Warriors on the defensive end so far, they got to look out for 33. She's crashing the boards, getting the offensive rebounds, and she's just everything right now.
And Cambria Landon, tallest one on this Creek roster. She's 6'2". Johnston thought about the 3. Nice dish inside to LaDuff, tying things up after early Creek run. Butler will try to guard the inbound. Nice to get in there by White. She can't hang on to it. And Creek ball just bouncing around there. Gibney trying to find somewhere to go with it. Finally finds Ball. And nice poke there from Butler. And ball will stay with the Bruins after a solid defensive little possession there from the Warriors.
Creek has to Warriors turn up the defensive pressure right now for sure.
Pass inside. Stelter will try to go inside with it. And she's on long of the baseline, out of bounds. Warrior ball. Good defense there by Isabel Johnston getting in there. Izzy Johnston, like we said earlier, committed to Colorado School of Mines for basketball on Wednesday. Had signing day bright and early. But good to see, I believe, at 22 Warriors that signed for athletics. Impressive what Arapahoe can do here with sports. But meanwhile, Butler bounce pass to LaDuff. LaDuff try to drive in. Will swing it back over to Butler. Butler
Blocking foul.
blocking foul. She'll head to the line. No, yes, she will. Excuse me.
Shot out of bounds.
Yes, she will shoot 2. Butler only shot 10 free throws this season, made them all. Gets it to go. First one, Arapahoe will take the lead early on in this one.
Yeah, I like how Arapahoe has adjusted so far after that 4-0 Creek run.
Yeah, quickly adjusted the defense, and Butler, commentator drinks there. Gets her own rebound though, and there's White pull up 3, bouncing around the rim, no good. Rebound Bruins, and Bruins will take it back up. Quick, another pull up 3, that won't fall. White with the rebound, she'll fight for it, and jump ball. Bruins will win that little brawl there to get another extra possession. Truman will come in, a solid bench player, 9 points a game. You know she can make those shots, but outside the arc, and Creek will throw it away. Arapahoe will get possession. Campbell will also come in for the Warriors.
Yep, they're ramping up the pressure right now on Creek. They're speeding them up, turning them over, and the Warriors are converting on the other end.
White zooms it over to Campbell. Campbell over to Johnston. Johnston to Butler. Into Truman, back to Johnson. Johnson will drive in. Floater, no good. Tries to put it back up. Foul called. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Right now, the rebounds are the key. We're seeing rebound fight in the paint right now for both sides.
Yeah, we have seen the aggressive battle just when we saw White and Ball, I believe, trying to fight for the ball. Creek, not funny thing, but interesting thing about Creek's roster, they use pretty much all their players. There are 9 players on the roster every game. So we'll see pretty much all of Creek's bench, or most of Creek's bench, come in for sure. Johnston will go 2 for 2 at the line. She shoots 57% at the line, making them both. Creek will quickly try to escape the press. Loose ball, bodies flying. And White will swing it over to Butler. Tipped past Butler, jumper, no good. Inbound to White, reverse layup will fall. White, nice bucket there.
Nice move. Yeah, Warriors are amping up the pressure, and Mason, as aggressive as the Warriors defense is, they have no fouls.
And Gidney turns it over on the pass, bounce pass, back and forth. Butler maybe not on the same page with White, but Johnson will get the second chance bucket as Gidney currently with the ball. For the Bruins, foul will be called. I believe that will go on Johnston.
First foul.
J.O. White, excuse me, sorry Drew.
First foul for the Warriors this far. Even they have aggressive defense, but they're not fouling. That's their first foul through basically the first quarter. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we've seen them in the past couple home games we've called have just allowed the other team to get in the bonus quickly. Loose ball, bodies all on the floor. Jump ball will be called. Warriors will go get the ball. 11-4, Creek not scoring since they were up 4-0 early on.
That's because the Warriors amped up the pressure on the defensive end.
It just under 2.5 minutes left in this first quarter. White quickly in. No foul called, but Warriors will stay with the ball. Nice block there from Nelson as she gets all ball, according to the refs.
White is 0 for 2 from three-point land right now, but she's going inside and making the right move.
Yeah, Truman getting that last bucket. She'll get her scoring night started. Nelson will get it stolen from behind by Butler. Nice defensive move. And Campbell will pass back up to Butler. Butler races it over to Truman. Truman will swing it back over to Butler, and Butler passes to Campbell. Campbell hands it off to Butler. Inside to Kenyon. Kenyon will get help from the rim to go in, and Katie Kidd, the Bruin head coach, will elect to call their first timeout with 1:51 remaining in the first quarter. Thank you for joining us early on. Your Warriors lead 15-4. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back in. 15-4, your Warriors lead. And Drew, we've kind of seen Warriors push aggressively to the paint area. Do you agree, or?
Yeah, I agree for sure. You know, the last couple of games are shooting from the arc, but now they're getting in the paint. They can get the spacing they want, and that just makes them a dangerous team because once they start shooting from the three, look out. This team is on a run right now for sure.
Yeah, nice defensive possession. While Drew was talking there from the Warriors, Jaya White getting a nice bucket. She has 6 points on the night, and turnovers being a big thing for the Bruins, just letting those up. So we had Poppleton check in, and aggressive fight. Kenyon and Nelson, I believe, going at it for the ball. Bruins will win that brawl, and they will get the ball.
Been aggressive so far, but what I've noticed, Mason, since that 4-0 run in the beginning, Warriors defense has adjusted. They put pressure on the ball, and that's what led them to the 17-4 run right now.
Hamilton, tip pass over to Landon. Travel will be called. Warriors, another bucket. I think, Drew, part of the reason Coach Katie Kidd called the timeout for the Bruins were just to try to discuss offense after the Warriors just have been pressing them for pretty much the whole quarter. And I think it was just part of it, short story, to discuss offense.
Yeah, because you saw early they were crashing the boards, but the Warriors defense has really adjusted to that.
Yep, Bruin players almost collide in together. That was ball in Landon, and Nelson will currently have the ball. Will throw it into Landon. That will slip out of her hands just like butter, and Campbell will pass it over to Poppleton. Nice bucket there from Poppleton. We don't see a lot of scoring from Poppleton, but the defense is always there when Poppleton's on the floor.
No, they're literally double teaming the paint right now, and they can't do anything. The Creek defense can't double in the paint right now because they know Warriors can shoot the ball.
And the Creek offense, especially after that missed three, they're kind of treading through the Sahara Desert. Not much buckets they can find.
Yeah, the Warriors are in the zone playing a zone defense, trying to just force them to take that three, one and done, get down to their offense.
And Kenyon will try to get a bucket, and that will be no good. This is how the first quarter will end. Going into the second quarter, your score, Warriors 19, Bruins 4. Drew, what do you think the Warriors need to do in the second quarter, or what do you think the Bruins need to do to get back in this early on?
I mean, we saw so far what the success early for the Bruins to get 4 points was getting offensive rebounds. They got to get more offensive rebounds to get in this game, but the Warriors did a nice job adjusting there, getting possessions early by the steal and getting transition buckets. They got to do more of that if the Warriors just going to pound it all night, but the Creek knows what to do. They got to get the offensive rebounds, play their style of the basketball, but right now they're in the Warriors style of basketball. Is play fast and getting downhill, and then the Warriors can get that spacing and get those threes.
Yeah, I think the goal for the Warrior bench, maybe Jerry Knopfel coming in, try to get some of the younger players some minutes that we don't usually see, like Sid Klein and Riley Berry. Be nice to get the two sophomores some minutes if the Warriors continue to just pummel it onto the Bruins.
Right now, Mason, they're going to sit J.O. White for a little bit to get her rest and then come back and fresh.
Yeah, J.O. White, I believe, has 6 points in
All
this
from
one
the paint.
Early on. Yes, all in the paint. We haven't seen a three-pointer made by either team yet in this one. LaDuff currently with the ball. And Truman will try to find Hollingshead. Hollingshead will get pushed from behind by Nelson. And there'll be a foul on Jalen Nelson.
Jay White's coming back in.
Yeah, White will come back in after a short little breather. And Butler comes back in too. And Johnson will come back in as well. 2 of the 3 seniors will come back in. LaDuff still on the floor, has not come off. White driving inside, no good. Johnson, second chance, third chance, fourth chance. They couldn't find that one. Bruins will get the ball.
I like the aggression though. You put it up a couple times, it doesn't fall, but the Warriors are getting all those 50-50 balls right now.
Bruins just trying to get it past half court. They've struggled once they're there just to keep the ball in their own hands. They'll pass it inside to Landon. Nice little hook shot there from Landon. And that's the first time they've scored since about the first 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, that was interesting. They didn't double, and that was just easy 2 points.
White inside to LaDuff. LaDuff, that's just simple bread and butter you'll see in basketball. Easy pass, easy bucket.
Yeah, the Warriors are getting in the paint pretty good right now. They're getting all the right shots in the paint, putting them up, converting right now.
Johnson gets the rebound after missed shot from the Bruins. White thought about it from 3. Butler at the logo, passing it over to LaDuff. LaDuff hands it over to White. White over to Butler for a 3. Bouncing around, no good. Truman with the rebound. And Truman will get fouled. Going back up for the second chance points, and Truman will go to the line to shoot 2. She's 75% from the charity stripe this season. And we got one more game left. It's an Eagle Crest. First one on the way. That will drop.
Yeah, Mason, this is what I'm talking about. Even though the 3 ball's not converting, they're getting in the paint and getting those 50-50 balls. That's why the Warriors can be dangerous at sometimes, because they can win in multiple ways. They can win with their defense, 3-point shooting, or getting in the paint.
Truman going 2 for 2 at the line. White tightly on. Bruin and Landon will try to get that pass. LaDuff will come away with the steal, and Butler will try to zoom up the court to get to the basket quickly. Quick pass over to Truman. Truman from 3, no good. Yet to see a 3-point make from either team. LaDuff traveled, and that will give the ball back to the Bruins. Number 3, Avery Hamilton, will inbound. Freshman for this Bruins squad. Quick pass over, and that's quickly stolen there by Butler, or by White, and then over to Butler.
For a foul.
And then, yep, Butler will get fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. This will be her 3rd and 4th free throws of the season, or of the game. She made both of those previously, and she'll miss the first one. Ivy Gibney coming in for the Bruins. Butler going 1 for 2 at the line, and Creek just trying to get the offense rolling.
They can't get anything rolling. They're getting stopped once they get to half court.
And Natalia Ball gets the ball taken by White. White will just hit it out of bounds, and she'll inbound. That'll be a quick swing over to Beck. Beck with a shot, no good. LaDuff rebounds. Izzy Johnson, not the best pass, but an easy layup there for Creek. That's Addison Beck.
One of the few mistakes tonight for the Warriors. That can't happen when you're up by this much.
Yep, Butler will hand it off to Truman. Truman outside, Johnson thought about the 3, driving in over to Butler. Travel by Johnston. Arapahoe coaching staff does not agree with that call at all, but the Warriors will go over to the defensive side of the ball now.
Yeah, they're playing pressure zone right now. They're clogging up the paint. They're playing pressure from half court. Yeah, this defense is wrecking havoc right now for the Creek.
Selter losing the ball. Johnson with the ball currently. Long lob pass over to White from 3. White will get it to go in. J.O. White getting the 3-pointers started for either team here tonight.
Yeah, I like how she attacked downhill after missing 2 early 3s, and we knew she was going to hit a 3 tonight, and she just hit one.
Ball, quick pass over to Selter. Selter trapped in the corner. Try to pass out. White almost got a swipe of the ball. Gibney missing. She'll get her own rebound. She's dribbling around at the Arapahoe logo. Will pass it over to Gibney. Gibney over to Bruin in the corner from deep. And Bruin just trading right back the 3 that J.O. White made earlier, as Arapahoe leads 27-11. Little over halfway done in this half. Butler at the top of the key. Will try to find somewhere to go with it. Pass it over to Johnson. Johnson thought about a 3. She'll try to drive in now. Passing out to White. White from deep. No good. Bruins will get the rebound. Warriors quickly going back to defense. That's Beck with the ball. Beck will try to drive in on LaDuff. And White takes a swipe at it. She'll get the ball. Long pass over to Johnson. Johnson losing it. Passing over to Butler. Butler from the corner. No good. LaDuff will.
Over and back.
Yeah,
over the back. Foul on the rebound.
Yep, over the back. On the rebound there, the Bruins will get the ball because of the foul.
Yeah, Warriors struggling right now on offense the last 2 possessions. The possession before that, Creek was in a zone and forced Arapahoe to shoot that 3.
And Bruins just not on the same page as Hamilton tried to find Gibney, and that just didn't work out. And the Warriors, Campbell will go pass it in to Butler. Butler will ask Derek Knopfel for the play. Butler will call it out. Bounce pass over to White. White quickly into LaDuff. Smart by Campbell not to grab it, but Johnson will get LaDuff's missed shot. Johnson will put it back up herself. That won't fall. And the Warriors getting a third chance bucket there. Nice to
They're getting all the
get in there.
50-50 balls right now, Mason. They're just putting it up, put it on the glass, and getting rewarded right now.
Seems like whenever Landon is not on the court for the Bruins, they just
violation.
struggle. And yep, backcourt violation from the Bruins. Thank you, Drew. As White will inbound. So Butler will be loosely guarded by Nelson. Bruins playing a little zone defense over to White. White zooms it inside to Johnson. Johnson can't get the layup to go.
I was just going to say, that's how you break the zone. Find the wide open person, but you got to convert that layup.
Bruins scored 7 points in this quarter after only scoring 4 in the first. Bounce pass won't find its owner, and LeDuff will swing it over to Johnson. Johnson, nice layup, nice pass there from LeDuff. Johnson has 6 points on the night.
Well, that's how you break the press. Just get a transition bucket so you don't have to worry about that.
Nelson, bad pass. White will steal it. White will be the robber, and
again.
she'll get the bucket, and she'll try to get it again. Jump ball, it'll go to the Bruins, but I mean, the Warriors doing their duties here on the defensive side. Whole new crew will come in. Jolliffe, Hollingshead, Kenyon, and LeDuff will be in. Timeout called. 1 minute, 36 seconds left.
Yeah, we won't see White probably until after halftime.
White doing her job. We'll be back in 45 seconds. Just 1 minute and 36 seconds left
Whole new
in
group.
this half. Like Drew just said, a whole new group coming in for the Warriors to most likely finish out this half.
That means the Warriors did their job.
Hollingshead tightly on Gibney, or excuse me, that's Beck. Beck going in, Jolliffe down, Beck down. And ball will stay with the Bruins, and Jolliffe is hurt. It looked like she tripped over one of the Bruin players. She just came in, and they'll check out that situation on the court. So we'll have a little injury timeout. Both teams will go back to their respective benches. Kami Jolliffe, a junior, averaging 2 points, but getting the job done defensively for the Warriors. Training staff and coaches will come check her out. Hopefully nothing too serious. Jolliffe now sitting up, and she'll walk off under her own power. Good sight to see.
Yep. That sucks. You just came into the game and you got hurt right away.
Yeah. LaDuff will check in for the injured Cami Jolliffe. Hopefully we'll see her back out on the court later on this game, and we'll get the rest of this first half underway. Bruins will get the ball. Landon with the ball. She'll pass over to Hollins. Hollins had tightly on her. Quick steal from LaDuff. LaDuff zooming up the court, and layup won't fall. Wow. And Poppleton fighting for the rebound. And
that was
ball.
aggressive. That was aggressive rebound. That's your big. That's your like best player on the court, and she ripped it right away, Mason. That's
Poppleton, a strong defensive player, getting the jump ball and will keep possession. Hollingshead will swing it over to Poppleton in the corner. Back to Hollingshead, over to Kenyon for a three. Too short, and ball will fall out of bounds. And Warriors will keep the ball.
Yep.
Poppleton will inbound to Hollingshead. Morgan Hollingshead, a freshman on this girls roster. Long pass over to Truman. Truman bounce pass to Poppleton. Poppleton over to Hollingshead. In the corner, that's Truman. Truman can't get the three to fall. A bunch of bodies in there for the rebound. Another ball going out of bounds, and another possession for the Warriors.
Yeah, it'd be good to see this group to get a bucket here just to get some morale going for the team.
Truman pass over to Kenyon. A little pass over to Hollingshead. Hollingshead over to Kenyon inside to Truman. Truman, that shot blocked. And that will be Beck with the ball currently. She'll bring it up the court. Beck, the leader in scoring for this Bruin offense. Landon currently with the ball. Pass over to Beck. Beck will be tightly guarded by Poppleton, creates separation.
Charge.
Offensive foul on Beck.
Can almost see that something.
Yeah, Addison Beck very frustrated, but good defense there by Poppleton. Like I've said a couple times, Poppleton a strong defensive player to have on the court. And only 2 seconds left. Hollingshead will just throw up a shot. Foul called. Hollingshead will shoot 3 free throws before we go to halftime. The sad thing about these free throws, she'll shoot them by herself, which
scares Trey.
And I mean, it is just, I think it's like you're all alone on an island trying to shoot these free throws. It's a little more nerve-wracking. She misses her first.
Yeah, the band was playing there.
Hollingshead, 29% from the charity stripe. She'll get her second one to go. Third one on the way. That won't go. She'll go 1 for 3, but that's how the half will end.
And a half with a point. That's pretty good.
Yep. Warriors lead 34-11 as we go in the half. There might be 0.1 or 0.2 seconds left. The refs will say no. Teams will go to their respective locker room / classroom. And Warriors up 34-11. We'll see you back in 10 minutes. Thank you for joining us on the one and only Arapahoe Sports Network. Welcome back inside Sitting Eagle Gymnasium here in Centennial, Colorado for a good matchup here for the Warriors and Bruins. Maybe not so much, but Arapahoe leading 34-11 as we get things underway. And Drew, what do you think Arapahoe could, I guess, do better or just continue to do?
I would just say continue the same thing. Got to get transition buckets for sure, because Creek has had success at the zone so far, like the last couple of possessions for the Warriors, but let's just see if they can get transition buckets and get steals.
Bunch of people going down. Warrior coaching staff not happy. Creek player down, slow to get up. That's Titania Compton-Evans. She's a little shaken up, and Jalen Nelson will come in for Compton-Evans.
And the defense for the Warriors, too, has really stepped up tonight. Only 11 points in the first half. That's pretty impressive.
Nelson quickly inside to Landon. No shot, travel. She made the basket, does not count because she traveled. Warriors will see their first possession of the second half. Butler celebrated her senior night tonight. Over to White. White lob pass to Johnston. Johnston over to Butler. Butler thought about the three, drives in, floater. Got it to go with the rim's help. First points of the second half for either team. Nelson with the ball, being guarded by Johnston. Nelson swings it over to Ball, way up from Ball. Won't fall. Foul. And foul will be called. We haven't seen Creek go to the line much at all tonight.
No, that's just because the Warriors' defense has been excelente, because they are defending without fouling, and that's the key. And the Warriors, we've seen them get in the double bonus so far, but that's not really been this case so far.
Ball. She goes 1 for 2 at the line. Johnston gets the rebound, and Butler will bring it up the court for the Warriors. Bounce pass in the corner to Johnston. Johnston will find Butler again, over to White. White, ooh, no look pass. That was nasty. White, nice no look pass over to LaDuff. LaDuff has 8 points on the night. 3 from Creek.
No good.
Air balls, no good. Arapahoe will get another offensive possession. Bruins just struggling getting the ball to the rim or just finding a nice open shot, as they did not put up many points at all in this first half, but that's what the Warrior defense does, Drew.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're just playing their game right now. I would imagine they're going to just rack up points here in the third quarter, and we'll see bench players start at the fourth quarter.
Butler, foul called on Landon, and Kenyon is the one that got fouled. Warriors will keep the ball. White will inbound it for the Warriors. White inbounds into Kenyon. Kenyon takes the quick shot. Landon with the rebound. Gibney trapped by LaDuff and Johnston. Smart timeout called by Coach Katie Kidd from the Cherry Creek Bruins. And we'll take a quick break as we got this second half underway. Welcome back. Your Warriors lead 38-12 with 5:47 left in this opening period of the second half, as Bruins will try to find the rim here. As White tightly on her. That's Hamilton that will pass it over to Gibney. Gibney passes it over to Stelter, or Ball, excuse me. Ball with it again, long pass. Thought about the three. And Johnston, defense all over. She'll take a swipe at it, she'll get it. White coming down the court, bounce pass to Butler. Layup in. 40 points for the Warriors collectively, 6 of those from Butler.
Yeah, White doing everything right now, getting the assist, getting downhill in the paint, got 1-3. Pretty good game so far.
Landon screening LaDuff. Johnston using those arms to get the steal. Butler, just missing the layup. Landon getting the rebound. Creek quickly up 2-on-2. Layup won't fall. Rebound from LaDuff. 4-on-1. Creek players slow to get back to the court. Johnston, 3 for her, 9 points on the night for Johnston's second 3 from the Warriors to drop tonight. And Creek will try to respond with their 3 of their own. LaDuff getting the rebound, she's pushed. And that foul will be on Landon.
Yo, the Creek can't do anything right now. They're forcing to take a 3. And that's why they're not converting on the other end right now. Great start to the second half for the Warriors for sure.
Exactly what the Warriors wanted. Butler will bring it up the court, slowing down the play. Butler will call out a play, trying to get things going. Oh, nice move there from Butler. Passes it over to White. White, long pass over to Butler. Butler from deep, cucumbers. Butler will find a 3 of her own and turnover.
White is doing
immediately.
I'm telling you, on that 2 transition buckets ago when they missed at the other end, White was the first one down there, affected that shot, and then 2 quick 3s by the Warriors so far.
Nelson will come in. White inbounds to LaDuff. LaDuff pass it over to Butler. Butler at the Arapahoe A will pass it over to LaDuff. LaDuff will pass it over to White. We've seen this play a couple of times. Butler inside. Pass was meant for Kenyon. Kenyon will shoot it. She's short. Oh, and Nelson will get the rebound. That's Beck currently with the ball. Beck, bounce pass. People aren't where Addison Beck wanted them to be, and Beck frustrated with another turnover.
4 new players.
Creek. And, 4 new players. That's Truman, Campbell, Hollingshead, and Poppleton coming in. Johnson will stay on the court. Johnston with the ball currently, and she'll try to drive in. She loses it. Pass it over to Truman. Truman was open and then gets absolutely swarmed like little bees there from the Bruins. And
that was just one of those moments where you're just too wide open, and you got the wide open basket. You just lose sight of the ball because you know you got an easy layup.
Poppleton will inbound to Campbell. Campbell from deep. Won't fall. Nelson with the rebound. Warriors will swarm Nelson, then they'll back off. Nelson with the ball, trying to get around Hollingshead. Campbell try to reach her hand in. No foul called. Campbell will switch with Hollingshead. Beck will pass it over to Gibney. Gibney trying to dribble around. And a foul will be called.
Yeah, the defense for the Warriors right now, when letting up 1 point, that's from the free throw line. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Warriors doing their thing on the defensive side. Beck will throw it in, and she'll just throw it away. Morgan Hollingshead wide open. Easy steal, easy layup for Hollingshead. Hollingshead has 3 points on the night. Nelson with the ball for the Bruins. She'll try to drive in on Hollingshead. And gets a nice little layup to go. And the Warriors allow their first real basket on the defensive side this half.
It's pretty good. Only 3 points so far.
Yep. Hollingshead, pass over to Poppleton. Poppleton lob it inside to Johnston.
Foul.
And Johnston will get fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot. Dose.
I imagine we see this lineup throughout the fourth quarter too.
Yeah, we'll see most of it. I'm curious to see if we'll see a good amount of Riley Berry and Sid Klein in the fourth. We don't see a ton of minutes played by them. Johnston, her first will go. I imagine we won't see
White.
much of, I mean, just the starters in general. I imagine we won't see Johnston, but
Maybe
it
the three
was
seniors, though.
senior night, so yep, I imagine they'll leave them out for a little bit. It won't be their last home game necessarily. Imagine they'll have a couple throughout the Centennial League tournament, which will happen after the Eagle Crest game. I don't know if we know that date yet. Poppleton and Campbell will dive right in there, and ball will stay with the Bruins. Bruins will inbound. Nelson tries to get open. She can't. Oh, and then they'll lob it into Nelson. Hollingshead comes from behind.
Jump ball.
Yep, jump ball,
They're-
just like Drew said.
They're up by like 35, and they're still playing aggressive on that defensive end. They just want to keep the gas going right now.
Yep, that's what Coach Jerry Knaufel tells them to do. They do a good job. Poppleton will pass it over to Campbell. Campbell pass it over to Hollingshead. Hollingshead to Truman. Truman to Poppleton, inside to Johnston. Johnston gets the floater to go.
That's a good shot. Right in
Johnston.
the paint, Ranger.
13 points, I believe she leads scoring for the Warriors. Don't quote me on that. Nelson will try to pass it inside. That's Egan Gibney.
Turnover.
And Egan Gibney will turn it over. Bruins just very frustrated with the amount of turnovers they have in this game. Imagine we're getting near 30 turnovers. I might be pushing it with that number, but it's definitely been a lot.
Yeah, this is just Warriors.
And we'll see Haley Kenyon come in.
Yeah, the Warriors are just, this is Warriors ball right here. We know they can shoot the three, but tonight the three ball's not shooting. You know what they did? They amped up the pressure on the defensive end and got in the paint, and they had a couple good three-point shots going, just like that.
Yep, inside to Campbell. Campbell gets her first points of the night. Good offensive possession there by the Warriors. Egan Gibney with the ball. She'll try to drive in on Poppleton. A foul will be called. That will send Egan Gibney to the line to shoot two. She's 60% from the charity stripe this season.
Yeah, right now, Mason, we're seeing the depth of this Warriors team in right now. And that's a good thing to have.
Yep, definitely is, especially if they want to make a run for that state title, which, I mean, their record and stats say they can. It'll be exciting to see how far these girls can go. They have won against the good teams. And Poppleton, one-on-one against Beck. And Beck doing as much as she can without fouling. Poppleton will score. Beck will pass it over to Nelson. Nelson inside, off the glass, no good. Nelson getting her own rebound. She'll be fouled, and she'll go to the charity stripe to shoot two. She's 68% from there.
Yeah, the Warriors are 16-1. You would think like Cupcakes got, no, they put the number, they played Trail. They beat Trail, that's pretty big at home. I don't see them losing anytime soon at home.
Their one loss came to a solid Denver East team.
And I imagine they see them again in the tournament.
Yep, they'll see them again, but I imagine they'll be ready for them. Like Drew said, we've seen the depth. We've seen how they've improved over the season, and the hold for the last shot with 10 seconds left in the third period. Hollinghead bounce pass. They don't hold for the last shot, but Kenyon will get in. She'll score 2. And a heave won't go. That's how the quarter will end. Warriors up by a huge, huge margin. 58-15. We'll come back at the start of the fourth. Welcome back to the start of the fourth quarter here. Warriors up 58-15, a margin that my math skills don't go to count. And Hamilton will pass it in to Nelson to get this fourth quarter underway.
Well, White's back in the game, so they brought out some starters.
It's interesting to see we're keeping the starters in. White, steal, wide open spaces. Oh, she'll miss the layup. That's definitely a layup she'll want to have back, and it will fall right into Campbell's hands. Over to Butler. LaDuff from deep. No good. White missing the second chance opportunity. And jump ball should be called. It will stay with the Warriors. And the clock will just run due to how much the Warriors are up. I don't know that exact number a team needs to be up by for the clock to just run. This fourth quarter will go pretty quick. White, Biscuits from 3, 61 to 15. White has 14 points.
Well, White
solid night from her.
Well, White missed 2 easy layups, but she kept with it and made her shot.
Kenyon get the rebound, will pass over to Butler. Butler, long pass to Campbell. Open space, layup, and 1 opportunity for Campbell. Campbell has 4 points. She'll go to the line to try to redeem her and 1 gift card. And Warriors, I mean, just
we've seen that play a lot tonight.
Yep. Warriors just slamming the door shut tonight on the Cherry Creek Bruins. Reminder, we do have a double header after this. The boys will play. They'll have their senior night activities, and then they'll play the Cherry Creek Bruins as well. Nelson will try to drive in. Foul on the floor will be called. That will be called against Kaya Campbell.
On the floor.
Yep, on the floor. Kaya Campbell, a sophomore. Landon will throw it away. Another steal, just like Drew said, and then another steal.
That pass.
Yep, Natalia Ball will pass it over to Nelson. Nelson tries for Landon. And LaDuff will pass it over to White. White over to Butler. Butler from deep, Biscuits.
It looks good out of her hand every single time.
Yep, Butler, 12 points on the night. Beck will try to drive through, no foul called. She remains down. Eventually, yep, they should stop play. We have a player just laying here. And officials eventually just stop play. I believe that's Addison Beck laying down. The coach and trainer will come out to help her, and we'll assess that situation. Just like we did earlier, players will go back to their respective benches.
So,
and Egan Gibney will come in for the injured Addison Beck. Hopefully nothing too serious.
Right.
She gets up and she's able to walk off on her own power just fine. Maybe just a little shaken up or wind knocked out of her. Glad to see she's up.
So I would imagine
doing
it's
okay.
Creek's ball? Or
Yep, it should still be Creek's ball. I saw the official talking to Creek, determining if it was a travel because
She
Nelson walked, but she's trying to point out her own injured player. So yes, it will be Creek's ball. And Egan Gibney will pass it in for the Bruins. Clock will just start and should run for most of it. Natalia Ball with the ball and pass over to Nelson. Nelson can't get the bucket to fall. Butler with the rebound, and she'll bring it up the court.
We got non-starters in right now.
Yep, most non-starters, or pretty much.
I think all the seniors are in there.
Yep, we do have Riley Berry on the court. Jerry Knopfel calls a timeout. And we'll just take a quick break, and we'll be back to finish out this fourth quarter in just a few moments. Back for the final 4.5 minutes of this one. Johnston, Butler, Berry, LaDuff, and Truman on the court. Riley Berry, one of the bench players that we don't see to get a lot of minutes. Berry from deep, no good. And Truman will get the rebound, try to put it up. Foul called. She'll go to the line and shoot two just to extend this lead even more.
Even though they're up by this much, they're still being aggressive down there. Nice to get that ball back and get to the line.
Truman making her first, extending the lead to 53 points. Impressive lead. We'll also see Sid Klein come in for the Warriors. She's looking for her first varsity bucket. Truman will extend the lead to 54 points, going 2 for 2 at the line.
So I think the clock runs after 30 or 40 points.
Nelson with the ball currently. She'll pass it into Landon. Landon, it will rim out. Just a lid on the bucket for these Bruins. Poppleton will swing it over to Hollinshead. Hollinshead will try to save it, but she'll end up throwing it away. Egan Gibney with the ball, currently being tightly guarded. She needs to get it up the court. She finally does.
Almost turned
after
over.
Being very tightly guarded by Hollinshead. Nice steal from Truman. Truman tries to bounce pass over to Sid Klein. That won't go. Landon will get fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot two. 78% from the charity stripe. Another reminder, boys basketball game after this. They'll do their senior night activities, and then the game will get underway. Landon just missing that one.
It's a Bruins night in the nutshell. They can't convert. It's just rimming out for them every time.
Yeah, Bruins, this will be the lowest points they have scored in a game this season.
And the biggest victory for the Warriors.
Yeah, by far the biggest victory for the Warriors. They've had some big victories, but this one, this one just bigger. Hollingshead, Warriors just playing well over to Poppleton. Poppleton, bad pass. And Nelson with the ball. Truman will take a swipe at it. Jump. No jump ball called. Riley Berry will pass it over to Klein. And Hollingshead with the ball tries to pass it over to Berry. Ball will stay with the Warriors.
Yeah, right now the ball's not sticking because they don't have enough experience right now.
But that's what these minutes are for, just getting them that experience. Berry with it. It will stay with the Warriors. Campbell will come in for Truman. So a pretty young team, all sophomores on the court, except Hollingshead, the freshman. Campbell will be fouled by Nelson. And the clock will just continue to run. We're getting to the 2-minute mark in this fourth quarter. Campbell with the ball currently. Be nice to get Klein her first varsity bucket. Poppleton over to Hollingshead. Over to Klein. Klein from deep. No good.
Almost had it.
Yep, Landon with the rebound.
That bench looks ready to explode.
It's always fun when you get a player their first varsity bucket. Start of something. Natalia Ball will try to throw it inside. A mess of bodies will be in there. It'll stay with the Bruins. Clock will tick to the minute 30 mark.
Yeah, this is a dominant win for the Warriors. They just a little sloppy early, down 4-0, but they adjusted, got to their pressure, and expanded this lead.
Landon will throw it away. Berry, bench wanted her to shoot. She didn't feel comfortable shooting. Poppleton will swing it over to Campbell. Campbell over to Berry. Hollingshead stepped out of bounds. And Bruin ball as the clock will just continue to tick.
I thought they were going to get to 70, but.
Well, it will still be a humongous win either way for the Warriors.
Yep.
Egan Gibney will try to drive in. Ball will try to drive in as well. She'll pass over. I believe that was Hamilton. Foul on Landon.
But
Clock,
30 seconds.
Yeah, clock will not stop. So Bruins should just get the last possession of the game.
Unless there's a steal, because that's what the Warriors have been doing all night.
Yeah, I don't imagine anything. Oh, we do steal it like we have been doing all night. Hollingshead, don't shoot, is what Jerry Knopfel says. Campbell will just hold the ball. She'll pass it over to Poppleton. What a great win for the Arapahoe Warriors. Drew, quick final thoughts.
That was a business-like win. This is their last home game, regular season home game, but they showed up tonight and they're ready for the tournament. They got one more road game left, but they're going to win that one, I bet.
Warriors doing their duties tonight, 69-16, defeating the almighty Cherry Creek Bruins. And thank you for joining us on Arapahoe Sports Network tonight. Reminder, boys game after this. As always, let's go Warriors.